Watching movies and jamming out. K-Flix 198.4 Fiction Radio.
Welcome back to K-Flix Fiction Radio. It's our first episode of 1985. Happy New Year, everyone!
Happy New Year, 1985. That's right. We are out of covering movies from the 80s about the 50s.
Right.
And we're into movies from the 90s about the 80s.
Exactly. Yeah, we're switching it up, everybody. We're changing gears and we're talking the Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore classic, The Wedding Singer.
Yes, we are. And this is kind of a special one, Shawn. We don't really have seasons on this show, but the way we pick the episodes kind of functions that way for us. So at the beginning of this new set, we thought, let's hit another from the catalog of Adam Sandler, something that Shawn is pretty well known for covering.
I am. I had no idea. People associate Adam Sandler with me in some way.
I think you're the Sandlerverse guy.
Oh, yep, that's right. That's right.
Called. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Sandlerverse. That's true. If for whatever reason you're listening to this podcast and you have no idea what the hell that is, just pop on over to YouTube and enjoy, I would say, probably 40 some odd minutes of me telling you how all of his movies are interconnected. And then in the second one, we reveal that all of those movies are then connected to basically everything ever made by human beings.
Yep.
It's a fun time.
And while you're there, check out other episodes of this podcast, which have been on YouTube now for a couple months.
That's true. Yeah. All of our episodes are now on YouTube, and they are animated by our friend Adam Helsher, and they look absolutely killer. And Dustin, you had such a huge hand in making that YouTube launch happen, so thank you for all of your hard work.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, it's been a pleasure. God, okay, this feels very vain, but they were animated by me. They were drawn by him.
Okay, that's fair. Yes. Sorry, I phrased that wrong.
Illustrated. Wonderfully illustrated.
There we go. That was the word I was looking for.
By our friend Adam Helsher, and there's no way we could have done it without him.
Or you.
But the big hand you referred to was, the animating, which has been super fun. Really, really fun to dip back into something that I kind of used to know how to do and haven't done in a long time.
Well, you fucking killed it, brother. You fucking killed it.
So our first Sandler movie on the show, Airheads, had, as far as this show goes, kind of the least material we could have for a full episode. It had one song.
That's very true, yes.
And that is not the case for this movie. Wedding Singer has a bunch and more than you or I even recalled. And we've both seen this movie quite a few times.
I have honestly seen this movie more times than I can count in memory.
Sure. Yeah, same.
And there were still moments where I was like, son of a bitch, man. I didn't remember that one.
Totally. The big one for me, because you told me the ones that you noticed, the big one for me noticing for myself was I don't know if I ever clocked that they did a string quartet version of Don't Stop Believin' at Robbie's wedding.
Oh, yes. Yeah, when he's getting stood up at the altar. Yeah,
that is totally. Failed wedding. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's really funny. I love that you finally caught that. That's so good.
Yeah.
That string quartet version is still pretty killer.
I think as a kid, I just thought like, oh, it's violin music, and then just didn't pay any attention since until today. I was like, oh, they're playing a Journey song. That's hilarious.
How much money do you think this movie cost to make? What do you think its budget was?
Oh, it's lower than I think because it feels big budget. About as big budget as a comedy could get at around then.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's Jim Carrey big at all, you know?
Okay.
I'm going to say $18 million. That's too high.
You nailed it.
It's too high. I nailed it?
You nailed it. It's
Whoa.
$18 million. Yeah. Yeah, you nailed it. Absolutely nailed it.
That's amazing. Wow. Okay, cool.
Yeah, good job, buddy. Now I feel like I have to ask you, go ahead and take a guess. What was the worldwide gross for this movie?
It was a hit, I think.
It was a big hit.
Big hit. Worldwide gross. God, what was normal in 1998? Well, Titanic was released the year prior, and it was the highest grossing movie of all time. So
it's not that.
Well, I'm just like, what was that number so I can go back from there? $60 million.
You undershot that one by quite a bit.
Okay, by quite a bit.
By at least double. It's $123 million worldwide.
Wow, smash hit. Okay, yeah.
His biggest hit to date, Adam Sandler.
Really? Mm-hmm. Wow.
But this one and the next two all broke 100 million. Waterboy was the next one to follow, and then Big Daddy after.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. That was a big commercial run for him, for sure.
And do you know what sort of got the ball rolling on this project in a way, Dustin?
I don't. Was it something at SNL?
Not really. It was more that Adam Sandler and Tim Herlihy, the scribe of this movie, and a lot of other Adam Sandler films.
Longtime creative partner, yes.
They had the idea for a guy in a wedding band, and Drew Barrymore thought, I think if I make a movie with Adam Sandler, it would be pretty successful. So she called him out of the blue and asked for a meeting. She met up with him, expressed her interest in working together.
No kidding.
And I have a little clip of her talking about this experience on the Howard Stern show. And we're also going to find out that Carrie Fisher helped punch up the script in the clip.
Oh shit, she's always involved in like some script writing role where you'd never guess it.
Yeah, she was brought in to help bring more heart and depth and humor to the Julia character.
You wanted to work as an actress.
I was like, listen, I really believe that you and I could get together and do something meaningful.
Sandler then finds a script for the two of you and he calls you up?
I sent him something. He didn't respond to it. He sent me a script that didn't have a title, and
Right.
that was, he said, I have an idea for this guy who sings in a wedding band.
Right.
And then we carefully weave together Carrie Fisher writing on it, Judd Apatow, Adam and Tim Herlihy, Frank Karachi, the director, and we layered this into a very even piece.
I didn't know all those people wrote on that.
Yeah, no, it was a really amazing collaboration, the way that script came together. I knew that I didn't want to just be a girl. I wanted always things to be equal to handers, because those were the movies I loved, where people were really fleshed out.
A lot of these movies, the girls just sort of like, oh, yeah,
She's
you're so
there,
great. Yeah,
yeah.
she's there. You wanted to be in the movie.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And I would sit there and talk about, you know, who is this guy and who is this girl? What is the story here, and how do they balance each other out?
So
And
you must be so grateful to Adam for taking you seriously
Yeah.
when he could have had any co-star and really
Absolutely.
developing something
he
with
was
you.
hot shit. He could have done anything he wanted, and he believed in me, and I believed in him.
And that's the reason that this movie holds up so well, and why it's like one of the greatest rom-coms ever, because they took that time to make the Julia character so real.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell this is a super fleshed out movie. I didn't know either, Howard, that all those people wrote on this.
Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I have a point about this, and that's it's not related to the Julia character, but the speech that Buscemi gives in the beginning as the like
The drunken brother.
is so real. And it's
Oh
so,
my
like,
God, yeah.
Him just saying, I'm a person too, Pop. I'm a person too, is what makes it funny. Like, that's a real person in real pain, and that's what makes it hilarious. And some of the best drunk acting I've ever seen. When he stumbles backwards off the curb, breaks the glass.
Yeah.
Flawless.
Yeah. He elevates the beginning of the movie to like you're saying, to a reality that grounds the movie, because that whole ordeal is something that you see in where we grew up, you know, of somebody getting up there and like having way too much to drink and getting way too over the line personal with the shit that they're saying, and then the audience reacting as such and just being like, whoa, that person just sucking the life out of the room.
But it's the attention to that detail that really, it makes it a timeless movie.
Yeah. It's so good, so real, so many great little moments in there.
The other thing about this movie is it's the fact that it's such a love letter to the 80s. It's crazy that it came out in 98. This would be like making a movie now, and it's about 2011. It doesn't feel like far enough, but it did then. When I first saw this, it felt like we were taken to a different world.
Yes, absolutely. I think part of that is probably that we didn't actually grow up with memories in the 80s.
We didn't exist in that. Like, yeah. We were born around the year this movie was set.
Right. Yes, exactly. We were toddlers during the 80s, so we look back on the culture of the 80s with fondness, but we didn't actually grow up in it.
Sure, fondness, but it's also alien. We didn't exist there, really. Yeah. So I love all the references. I love the new Coke and the hang on, I'm watching Dallas. I think JR might be dead or something. They shot him.
Yeah. You think the time to make the donuts guy is sexy.
And this movie was also like the intro for me to a lot of the songs on the soundtrack.
Yes. The soundtrack is loaded with bona fide 80s bangers, but it is still my introduction to quite a few of them.
Quite a few, yeah. I mean, there's some I probably heard before.
Yeah.
I would probably dipped far enough into knowing like You Spin Me Around and that kind of stuff, but like I went through just the soundtrack list, which is massive because it's 2 albums and then another list of just songs that were never released on an album but are in the movie.
Just before you get into that, it is insane. Like, so rare that a movie soundtrack is so extensive that they have to put it out on 2 volumes, and then they still have enough songs left that they could do a 3rd volume.
Yeah. Because they just went wild on like incidental music. We were talking right before we recorded, like there's a Bruce Springsteen song, Hungry Heart, that just plays in a bar in the background.
It's barely even featured, yeah.
You would not license a Bruce Springsteen song for that anymore. I do truly wonder how much of the 18 million was spent on music rights.
Probably a staggering amount.
But like just going through Every Day I Write the Book by Elvis Costello in general, I don't think I knew about before this.
Nope.
Pass the Dutchie was my first time hearing that song. Love Stinks, which we'll talk about later, but like I didn't know that song.
Oh yeah.
And Love My Way by the Psychedelic Furs, which is a song I super love, and it's in the movie twice actually. When Julia's drunk outside the bar getting into Glenn's car, and then again when they encounter the old man, who I think is just called Old Man, right?
Oh, right.
Again in a bar. It's Robbie and Sammy in a bar. You need a prostitute guy. Which that guy just, all he does is deliver one-liners for 2 minutes, and it's great. I used to be much stronger.
Yeah, the weak punch he throws at Glenn. Sounds like a country song to me.
Yeah, yes. What was Sandler's good at that, like having the bad guy deliver a really fumbling.
Oh,
that was the I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast of this movie. It was him being like, yeah, why don't you write a new song called I Got Beat Up by a Guy and It Really Hurt, or whatever it was.
I think it's something akin to I got punched in the nose for sticking my face in other people's business.
That's right. Yeah.
It's something like that, very close to that.
Sounds like a country song.
So there's a mention of another fictional band in this film. It is the band that Robbie used to sing for before he was a wedding singer. Did you catch the name of the band?
I've already forgotten it.
Final Warning.
Final Warning, yes. Yeah, because that's a good bit of exposition where his ex, after she leaves him at the altar, is explaining why she doesn't want to marry him. And she's like, I liked you 5 years ago when you were the singer of Final Warning, and like gives this whole story in an expository way without it sounding like clunky or anything. I thought that was well done.
Absolutely. Again, this movie is so layered and well put together. It's why it stands the test of time.
Yeah, truly. It's a great script, and it's built from that.
And so this movie was such a gigantic hit film-wise and longevity-wise. Are you aware that they turned this into a stage musical?
I've heard that, yeah. I don't know much about it, but I'm aware.
In 2006, they turned it into a stage musical. Tim Herlihy did co-write the book for the stage musical with Chad Beglin, and Chad wrote the music as well, with Matthew Sklar composing the music. Chad and Michael have worked together on other musicals, such as The Prom and the adaptation of the Elf musical.
Oh, shit. Nice. That one I didn't know existed.
Yeah.
I've never seen Elf. You know that?
You've never seen Elf?
I've never seen Elf.
Oh, interesting.
And I don't even have your Will Ferrell hang up.
but you have a big James Caan hang up. So when this musical went live on stage, there was a popular comedian of the time, Stephen Lynch, who played Robbie Hart.
Okay.
Just as a refresher for people who might remember Stephen Lynch, here is his song, Craig.
Everyone knows Jesus, the man who healed the lame. Well, I am Jesus' brother. Craig is my name. Jesus is the Prince of Peace. Jesus is the Lamb. Jesus is the Son of God. But Craig don't give a damn.
So yeah, Stephen Lynch, popular musical comedian of the time.
I'd never heard that, by the way.
Oh, you've never heard that one?
That was enjoyable.
Yeah, he used to do a lot of like morning radio spots. I feel like the Bob and Tom show was his big one.
Gotcha. Okay.
I believe he got some Tony nominations as well for like best musical maybe, and I think Stephen Lynch got a nomination as well that year.
Nice. What year was it again?
That was 2006 that went up. I think it played for almost 300 days, like 280 something days. It was up on Broadway.
Gotcha. Wow.
And it's still pretty popular in the like high school market, to my understanding.
Wow, I thought it was much more recent, actually.
It was still almost a decade after the movie, so I mean, it took a little bit of time to get it up off the ground.
I thought it was much closer to now, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Does the musical, do you know, does it use the songs that were written for the movie?
It does, and I will play them later.
Oh, okay. I was like, obviously it has other music, I'm assuming, but I was curious.
I was more curious on if they were going to use the songs, like if it was going to be a jukebox sort of a musical, or if it was going to be a mixture jukebox musical with like its own original things. But no, they are not doing any of the songs on the soundtrack that are not written for the movie.
Yeah. Okay.
So as we keep saying, this movie is loaded with songs, and songs that we can talk about, actually, not just songs on the soundtrack. So let's go ahead and fire right into it with the opening song of the movie. I think it's the perfect way to start. It is a great credit sequence, killer jokes in the mix.
Excellent credit sequence. They
Oh
don't
my
do
God.
credit sequences like that anymore. And just cutting between the names and the action, the wedding that he's performing at, it gives it a bunch of energy. I love it. I think it's an awesome open.
It has so much energy. It honestly makes the song feel like it has more energy than it does when you just listen to it.
It does. And I think they put some like whoosh stuff in there to help it along.
The credits slide in with like a whoosh sound. Absolutely they do. Yeah.
But it's like on beat, so it feels all part of one thing.
So this first song is called You Spin Me Round Like a Record.
I got to be your friend, Grandma Molly. I'm talking to you.
I love the little additions that he does like that.
Would like to move in just a little bit closer. All I know is that to me, you look like you're lots of fun. Open up your loving arms. Watch out, here I come. You spin me right round, baby, right round. Like a record, baby, right round, round, round. You spin me right round, baby, right round. Like a record, baby, right round, round, round. I want your love. Uncle Morty.
I wanted to play that section because of those like little additions to the
Little ad libs. Yeah.
yeah, and also the way that he carries out the love is really powerful. And you know, I just
Yeah.
wanted to showcase like Sandler really fucking can sing, and he sings well in this movie.
Yeah, definitely. And they picked the right role too. Like the stakes are pretty low as a wedding singer, and so it's 100% believable.
Yes.
Like he's not a pop star.
No.
He's a wedding singer.
He's a wedding singer in Ridgefield. Like it's a local wedding singer. It's not even like I'm the best wedding singer in New York City. You know, like
Right, yeah. Do they give us a state?
I think it's New Jersey.
Okay. That was my assumption.
And then for those that are not in the know, the song You Spin Me Round Like a Record is by the band Dead or Alive, and it was released in November of 1984, so just before 1985. So this song, in universe of the movie, was a brand new hit.
Straight off the charts.
And speaking of charts, Dustin, this song hit number 11 on the Billboard Hot 100.
It was a big hit, and it was produced by this guy, Scott Aitken Waterman, a.k.a. Saw, a.k.a. The Hit Factory.
The Hit Factory.
Most notably, and I'm not going to play it, but most notably, he did produce the song Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley. I feel like we've entered an era where we can just talk about it. We don't have to do the thing.
To be fair, doing the thing would be telling me you're going to play a different song, but then playing that one.
Well, that's true. Yes. Okay. I'm just not playing it at all.
Fair enough. Everybody knows it. The next song that we get in the film is not performed by Adam Sandler's character, Robbie Hart. It is performed by Alexis Arquette's character of George, and it is the Culture Club smash hit that went to number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, Do You Really Want to Hurt Me?
Give me time.
One of my favorite jokes in the movie is when this song restarts.
Let me love and steal.
Scary.
I have danced
I like her.
inside your eyes. How can love be real? Do you really want to hurt me?
Good save, wedding singer.
But what you're talking about, every time I watch it, is one of the hardest fucking times I laugh in this movie.
You suck!
that deep guttural scream of "You suck!"
It's one of your favorite tropes. It's the off-screen guy yell. It's the Yaya Ding Dong guy. He was on screen, but same concept.
Oh yeah, off-screen lines are a trope that I will love to the end of time.
A movie could be bad or otherwise just not impressive as long as it has good off-screen yells and like signage jokes. I could still love it.
Yeah. I tried so hard to find out who did that yell of "You suck." Can't find it.
No info, huh?
No info. I have a guess.
Okay. Before you reveal it, can we play it again?
You suck!
It's like Farley-esque.
That's what the internet thinks that it's Farley.
I don't think they brought in Farley for that.
No.
It's his style, but I don't think it's him.
I agree with that. I think it's Jonathan Longren.
Okay.
The guy in The Waterboy with the cross eyes, the linebacker.
Oh.
It really, really sounds like him. That's who I think it is.
Oh, that's a good call. That's an informed guess. I would buy that.
That's where I would put my money if I could bet on it in Vegas.
Yeah, I don't have a counter bet. That's a good one.
And just so that way you can get a sample of what Do You Really Want to Hurt Me sounds like from the Culture Club.
Do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to make me cry? Precious kisses, words that burn me. Lovers never ask you why.
I mean, not that anybody really needed that refresher. This is a very well-known song, but you know,
and it's a faithful cover. Moreover,
yes, yeah, super faithful cover.
I mean, it's kind of part of the joke, right? Is George is a bit modeled after Boy George.
Yes.
So moving forward in the movie, Robbie gets left at the altar by Linda and goes into a deep depression spiral until his best bud, Sammy the limo driver, comes over and talks him into getting back out there, getting to work, and doing the wedding singing again the coming weekend. And then the joke is it cuts right to him singing the most depressed version of this Madonna song, Holiday. And then Holly asks Sammy, or says to Sammy, like, oh my God, he's in terrible shape. Why would he ever think about coming back to work? And Sammy just goes, I don't know.
Holiday, celebrate. If we took a holiday, yeah. Time to celebrate. Come on, let's celebrate.
George is so happy.
Yeah, the band is trying.
It would be so nice. Everybody spread the word. I live in my sister's basement.
Oh yeah, they start changing the words.
Why would he even think about coming back to work?
I don't know.
Okay, it had the bit in it.
I did, yeah, I had it in there.
But it's just right after, like, Sammy gives him this big, like, inspiring, like, get back on the horse speech.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and this is the first song where it's not just like a good cover. It's played for comedic effect.
The actual Madonna version of Holiday was released in September of 1983 and peaked at number 16 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts.
Wow, okay.
If we took a holiday, took some time to celebrate.
Like, pop #1 type stuff was so much more chill.
Oh, yeah.
It would be so nice.
This song's just not sad enough. It's just not sad enough.
Well, they cracked the code.
Yeah.
This movie's a masterpiece, but there are a few moments in it where you really appreciate what exactly it is that Sandler does. And this is one of those moments. This and right before this, when he when he gets dumped. So when his sister comes up to him at the altar and says, Linda's not coming, but she did leave a note. And he says, a note? And she said, it basically indicates that she won't be marrying you. So it was a bad note. That is something that only that guy could deliver so perfectly.
Just circling back to Holiday, it was written not by Madonna, but by two people, Curtis Hudson and Lisa Stevens Crowder. It was meant for their own band, Pure Energy.
Oh.
But the producer of the song, John Jellybean Benitez, pitched the song to Madonna when he was working with her, and it became a Madonna song. So Pure Energy, right? They had an album in 1980 called Party On. It was a dance pop album that was heavily disco influenced. And I listened to this album. It is really goddamn fun. And I would like to play you a song from it. This is Pure Energy with the song You've Got the Power. And I'm going to play this intro because it has a great build with these synths and then claps start to come in. It's so funky.
Cool. Okay.
Really makes me want to fire up some Chromeo.
Sure. Yeah.
Hello, my friends. We've got a song to sing to you. We're gonna party and bring some joy to you.
So yeah, man, Pure Energy.
Pure Energy. Yeah.
I almost played the title track Party On because it's got some fantastic horns in there, but I couldn't get over the funky groove of this song, You've Got the Power.
Yeah. It had some like Cool in the Gang energy.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. When you said it's called You've Got the Power, I thought for a second it was going to be that song. What is it I've Got the Power or We've Got the Power? The one that's like, yeah, I've got the power. Like, that's like,
Oh, right.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
Okay.
It was like a
yeah,
club
I know that song.
from the early 90s.
Yeah. I know that song.
I thought for a second it was going to be that because I can't place who that's by.
I've got the power.
It's The Power by Snap. So now I think it's time we do a little mood music.
Cindy and Scott are newlyweds. Whoopity-doo! He loves her, but she loves this guy right here. And he loves somebody else. You just can't win. And so it goes until the day you die. This thing they call love is gonna make you cry. I hate you.
I add that all the time when I sing along with this song.
Love stinks?
Love stinks! Yeah, yeah!
Love stinks!
Love stinks! Yeah, yeah!
Love stinks?
Love stinks! Yeah, yeah! Love stinks! Love stinks! Yeah, yeah!
And then you just get punched out. I do love that he just keeps yelling "love stinks" over and over again as it's happening.
Oh, I love the build up with the bride's dad too, who's like giving him shit. Like, so what am I paying you to sing?
You are the worst wedding singer in the world, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the back and forth between those two characters is such a good build.
Of all the films, this might be the most quotable one in my mind.
Yeah, and we were doing a lot of quoting and Walk Hard too, but we've done quite a bit already in this one.
This one's next level. I mean, Happy Gilmore might be up there too, but my God, so many lines in this one. The information that would have been useful to me yesterday.
So this song, Dustin, I have a fun fact about the song. This song is rumored to have been inspired by Peter Wolf, the singer of the Geils Band's divorce from Faye Dunaway.
Oh, really?
And it peaked at number 38 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts.
And so it goes till the day you die. This thing they call love, it's gonna make you cry.
Love stinks.
Love stinks. Yeah, yeah.
Love stinks.
Love stinks.
I fucking love the Geils Band. I don't know what your opinion on the Geils Band
I
is.
also
but-
love the Geils Band. Like I said, I think that this movie introduced me to this song, and then for the
Okay.
longest time, I kind of knew the later Geils Band that was like this and Freeze Frame, Centerfold, those like 80s hits with all the synth and stuff in them. It wasn't until I watched Eastbound and Down where they use Must Have Got Lost by the Geils Band
Okay.
in the finale of that show. And I was like, oh shit, that's the Geils Band? And I like went back and got into their earlier stuff because it sounds like a totally different group, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
And it's all great. I love it all. So the next song we come upon is after Robbie decides he's quitting the wedding singing business and he's just going to only sing other events, right? So
Yeah.
we come in on him doing a bar mitzvah and we get his rendition of, I think I'm getting the name right, Siman Tov Mazel Tov, or possibly Siman Tov Umazel Tov, but it's the bar mitzvah song, the traditional bar mitzvah song.
Oi, bar mitzvah, bachal, mazel tov. Oi, kleis morab, spielt da, freilach sein. Oi, bar mitzvah, bachal, mazel tov. Oi, bar mitzvah, Herr Bacha, mazel tov. Ja, ja, ja.
If any of you out there are Goldbergs fans, the television show The Goldbergs, Beverly is at this very bar mitzvah in an episode of the show that ties into the movie The Wedding Singer.
That's right. Yeah, there's some big Sandler-verse stuff in that crossover episode with that show.
Absolutely. She auditions Jimmy Moore to be the wedding singer at her son's wedding, and then her eldest son and his girlfriend are on the plane at the end of the movie when Robbie sings "Grow Old with You" to Julia.
Yeah, pretty cool. And they like cut it in digitally, right? Like they took the characters from the movie and sort of placed them into the Goldbergs scenes.
Yeah, well, they sort of did it to where, like, the Goldbergs characters are on the other side of the plane.
The people we never saw because of the 180 rule in filmmaking. Yeah. Okay,
Yep.
Cool.
But then when Beverly is at the bar mitzvah, for example, they do sort of like cut and paste her into footage.
Like Forrest Gump style.
Yeah.
Nice.
They have a second song that is performed at the bar mitzvah as well. It is a song called That's All, which was originally composed by Bob Hames with lyrics from Alan Brandt and was first recorded in 1953 by Nat King Cole.
That's right.
We'll get to that. First, here is the wedding singer version.
I can only give you love that lasts forever, and a promise to be near each time you call, and the only heart I own for you and you alone. That's all. That's all. All I have.
Funny butt grab.
Enfold you, just go with it. And a love time can never destroy. Take it, George.
I do love this sequence of George playing various wind instruments. It's very funny.
Yeah. So this is one of those old, like this is officially a jazz standard. It has just become part of the American Songbook, literally the Great American Songbook, which is a famous collection of jazz songs, and a pretty faithful to the Nat King Cole version cover, I think, that Sandler's doing here.
I can only give you love that lasts forever, and the promise to be near each time you call, and the only heart I own for you and you alone. That's all. That's all.
Now, as successful as the Nat King Cole version of this song is, and as well known and renowned as that version is, from my understanding, the reason that it is such a staple in the jazz songbook is because of the Bobby Darin version from 1959.
That was definitely the one that became a hit.
I can only give you love that lasts forever, and the promise to be near each time you call.
Certainly picked up a whole lot in this one.
For you and you alone, that's all.
It's the same song on cocaine. Like it sounds like a guy did a line of blow and then intended to sing the Nat King Cole song, and it just happened this way.
Reminiscent to the Walk Hard Dewey Cock phase when he's like, faster, play it faster.
Totally. Yes, that is also my understanding, though, that the Bobby Darin one is the one that made this song a hit and guaranteed its place in jazz legacy.
Which is funny to me because I prefer the slowed down Nat King Cole Robbie Hart version of the song than I do to the whip bang Bobby Darin version.
Definitely. Yeah, it's got more emotion to it for sure. And just by the way, like, you know, we were talking about how Sandler's no slouch. He can actually sing, but like, you put him up against Nat King Cole, and wow, what a voice! Like you can really hear what the next tier sounds like.
Sure, but you know, in terms of comedians, Sandler sounds pretty damn good.
Yes, yeah.
The next glorious song that we're exposed to in this movie is one of the best cameos in the film. John Lovitz as Jimmy Moore, a fellow wedding singer, performing the song "Ladies' Night" by Kool and the Gang.
Yes, it's ladies' night, and the feeling's right. Oh, yes, it's ladies' night. Oh, what a night. Oh, yes, it's ladies' night, and the feeling's right.
Man, I've never seen it from this perspective before. Is this what I look like?
No, you're much better than him. He's ridiculous.
The way that he dances is so funny.
Take a lady, single baby, sophisticated mama. You disco lady, save me tonight, mama. Yes, oh, what a night. Chaka.
It's John Lovitz playing in a way the only character John Lovitz plays, but it's a great one for this moment.
It is beautiful. I laugh so hard every time that Jimmy Moore scene comes on. I love it so much.
Yeah.
And it's a really fucking fire cover of Ladies' Night.
Yeah, it's well done.
The energy is still really high, you know.
He's going
it's
for it
good.
on every note. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Here's the Kool and the Gang version of the song.
Oh, yes, it's ladies' night, and the feeling's right. Oh, yes, it's ladies' night. Oh, what a night. Oh, what a night. Oh, yes, it's ladies' night, and the feeling's right. Oh, yes, it's ladies' night. Oh, what a night.
Yeah, it's such a brief moment that we get of this character, but it's so worthwhile.
It's so worthwhile. And just for your own information out there, Ladies' Night by Kool and the Gang went all the way to number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts.
So Jimmy Moore takes us right into, I think, the first bit of original music we get in the film.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the two that this film is most remembered for. It's Robbie's "Somebody Kill Me."
Yeah.
Which is a song that he started writing pre his relationship ending and finished after Linda had left him. What does he say? Like, so sorry if it's a little uneven.
Yeah, if it's a little uneven. Yeah.
You don't know how much I need you while you're near me. I don't feel blue, and when we kiss, I know you need me too. I can't believe I found a love that's so pure and true, but it all was bullshit. It was a goddamn joke. And when I think of you, Linda, I hope you fucking choke. I hope you're
It just goes right back into the slow again.
done to me.
So what makes this song so good is that it's a good song. Like melodically, it's a solid composition, and lyrically it's not jokes, it's just situationally funny.
Right.
Like it could be a serious song. There's stuff like this that's out there in the real world, heartbroken kind of lyrics.
Sure.
But it's and that's what makes it work so well, because it's all real, but it's how they deliver it, when they deliver it, why they deliver it in the movie that makes it such a good punchline.
Yeah. And he says before he starts singing that he had been listening to The Cure a lot and that it had influenced this song. Do any Cure songs sort of jump out to you as what could have helped inspire this one?
No, honestly, I've never been able to draw that connection. I don't think it sounds like a Cure song, personally.
Yeah, I was trying to come up with something, but I couldn't quite get there. So I was curious if you were able to.
No, I did the same thing. I tried to kind of come up with something, first try to think of a Cure song, and then just like, well, it doesn't remind me of the Cure really. And then I tried to kind of figure out what it did remind me of, but it reminds me of itself because it's so baked in to my brain for so long. It's hard for me to find the actual inspiration for it. But yeah, I've always thought it was weird that he said I was listening to the Cure a lot and then played a not very Cure-like song.
Well, I mean, I guess some Cure songs could be overly emotional. I almost wonder if that's sort of the connection there.
Sure, I guess. Just stylistically, it's not quite how they write or wrote.
Speaking of writing, this song is written by Tim Herlihy and Adam Sandler, just so everyone is aware of that. And it is featured in the stage musical. Here is that version by Stephen Lynch.
You don't know how much I need you while you're near me. I don't feel blue. And when we kiss, I know you need me too. I can't believe I found a love that's so pure and true. But it all was bullshit. It was a goddamn joke.
Okay, I was genuinely curious how much he was going to lean into the Sandler voice for this and how much it was going to be cleaned up for the musical. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Interesting that they went with an acoustic guitar instead of making that electric like the movie there.
Oh, yeah. Huh. I mean, I haven't seen it. I don't know what the setting is. Maybe it's slightly different.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, that's a good point.
But yeah, that's pretty funny and pretty faithful.
Now, throughout the movie The Wedding Singer, Robbie is giving vocal lessons to an old woman by the name of Rosie, who is played by Ellen Abertini Dow. The song that he is teaching her to sing for her anniversary party is Till There Was You, which was originally written by Meredith Willson. The song is best known for being in the stage musical of The Music Man in 1957. But before that, it was known under a different title called Till I Met You, and that was originally recorded by Eileen Wilson in 1950. And then in 1951, this same version of the song was then recorded by Fran Warren. And this version of the song, Till There Was You, was produced and recorded by Nelson Riddle, with Sue Rainey singing the vocals in 1957, shortly before the cast recording of The Music Man came out. So there's like an interesting before the song was popular history to this song. And I found that kind of fascinating.
Yeah, it evolved a lot. Had a whole, not a whole different, but a slightly different title, like you said, and then just became lots of different things. And then even after The Music Man, it went on to be a Beatles song, not like I don't think it was a major single even, but it was the early Beatles. It was every single song on the record was a hit in some way.
I actually have that queued up, but first, let's go ahead and listen to the version from Rosie in The Wedding Singer.
No, I never heard them at all till there was you. And there was music, and there were wonderful roses. They tell me in sweet, fragrant meadows of dawn and dew.
Really good performance by Ellen there.
Yeah, Robbie did a good job with the vocal lessons.
Yeah, coaching her up.
All for meatballs, no less.
Yeah, free meatballs. Yeah, I'll get paid in meatballs. Why not? Those meatballs look pretty great. I mean, I would want some Tupperware. I don't want them just in my hands like that, but
they do look good. That scene is one of the like more unbelievable. That is one that took me out more than anything else in the movie. More than the fucking rush to the airport, get on the plane stuff. The fact that she's like just like hold out your hands. I want to watch you eat them.
and then smushes both of them in his hands.
Oh, yeah.
Like she grabs his hands and then they just smush, and
so gross.
It's so gross. Yeah, it's great. Before we get into the Beatles version, I would like to play the 1962 Music Man movie version of the song by Shirley Jones.
There were bells on the hill, but I never heard them ringing. No, I never heard them at all till there was you. There were birds in the sky.
This one is definitely a musical version.
It's definitely
of
a
it.
musical
You can hear it with that like whimsy little flutters in there. Yeah.
Yeah. It's slow and it's telling a story that we're not privy to in this audio only moment.
And the Beatles one sort of takes on a life of its own and becomes its own thing.
There was love all around, but I never heard it singing.
I mean, what this has, especially for the time, is it's got like a impromptu live vibe. I don't know. I didn't look into the actual recordings, but it doesn't sound like tracked in the same way that, the Beatles were kind of famous for pushing advances in recording and multi-track recording. And this, on the other hand, sounds like some people around a microphone jamming.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. This song is interesting to me because it's one that I certainly did not know before I saw the film, nor did I ever look into its history or anything like that until
now.
We were prepping for this show.
Yeah, sure.
I never even thought to look into anything about this song. I just sort of didn't for whatever reason.
I guess if I thought anything of it originally, it was like, oh, that's clearly like an old kind of standard, like the Nat King Cole song, and I wasn't really wrong. I mean, it is kind of another. So I lied earlier. We're still talking about stuff from the 50s. We're never going to stop.
Certainly not in the way we've done with the other 80s content.
True. No callback doo-wop.
There we go. We're still not doing doo-wop. We're still talking about the 50s, but we're not talking about doo-wop.
We'll talk about doo-wop in like 3 episodes or 4, maybe. I don't know. It'll come back.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, give it some time. This is just a doo-wop show disguised as other things.
Right.
Now, so Ellen does a second song in this movie at the very same party. Dustin, what is that song?
Oh, that song. That song is another one that was, I remember that being super famous at the time. It was like as viral as something could get not pre-internet, but pre the internet being for everybody. The Rapper's Delight cover. She sings, raps by Sugar Hill Gang, a Granny's take on it. Granny rap, I believe it was billed as back in the day.
This song is originally from 1979 and hit 36 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts.
I said hip hop, I hip it to the hip hip hop. You don't stop the rock to the bang bang boogie. Say up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie beat. Now what you hear is not a test. I'm rapping to the beat and need the groove. And my friends are going to try to move your feet. See, I am Wonder Mike, and I'd like.
I love that they didn't even change the name there.
The black, the white, the red and the brown, the purple and yellow. But first I gotta bang bang.
She gets on beat. She starts off a little floaty around the beat, and she lands it.
Body rock. Well, so far you've heard my voice, but I brought 2 friends along. And next on my man Hank. Come on, Hank, sing that song.
Oh man, that's so fucking funny. I'm so glad they thought to do something so ludicrous like that.
Like I said, I remember it being huge, like a huge part of the promotion for the film.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a big trailer moment.
Yeah.
In case you've somehow never heard one of the earliest hip hop songs in existence, this is what that verse originally sounds like.
I said a hip hop, the hip it to the hip hop. You don't stop the rocker to the bang bang boogie. Say up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat. Now what you hear is not a test. I'm rapping to the beat, and me, the groove, and my friends are gonna try to move your feet.
Man, classic song. Love it.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It is one of the very first popularized, at least, hip hop songs. When you said 79, I was like, was it really 79?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's as early as it goes. That's the dawn of hip hop.
Sugar Hill Gang, man. I was obsessed with that song after this movie came out.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah. 100%, because I had the CD. So I used to listen to that soundtrack all the time, and I remember distinctly hearing the long 14-minute version of the song, because the version on the soundtrack is a truncated version. It's like 4 or 5 minutes long. So discovering that there was like a whole second half of the song that I wasn't listening to was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. That song is really long. I forgot. 1437. I mean, there are just listed on the Wikipedia 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different length versions of this that have been released.
But yeah, this was definitely one of those moments that took everyone by storm when they saw that old woman rapping this song in the trailer.
Yeah, it was a big thing. It was kind of bigger than the star power Sandler energy. It was like the thing.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, because he was as hot as ever in that moment.
Coming off of the success from Billy Madison and then Happy Gilmore into this, where it's appealing to almost every woman as well. That was the game-changing formula for old Sandler there.
Well, right. Was like make it not just for dudes.
Yeah.
And that's what Drew Barrymore brought to
And Carrie Fisher.
Just going back to that, I didn't know about any of that involvement. I didn't know she was involved in that level. I didn't know how the casting came about, but I didn't know she was like behind.
Sought him out.
The movie, yeah.
Yeah, pretty great. So we're nearing the end here. We've only got 2 songs left to talk about. The penultimate song of this movie takes place on an airplane with an introduction by the one and only Billy Idol. It is the second original song for this movie, written by Tim Herlihy and Adam Sandler. It is called Grow Old With You.
I'll get you medicine when your tummy aches. Build you a fire if the furnace breaks. Oh, it could be so nice growing old with you. I'll miss you, kiss you, give you my coat when you are cold. Need you, feed you, even let you hold the remote control. So let me do the dishes in our kitchen sink. Put you to bed when you've had too much to drink. Or I could be the man who grows old with you.
Another example of this one's not even played for laughs, but of them just writing a good song that works really well.
But it also has like little jokey moments in there as well, you know, of like even let you hold the remote control and things like that. So there's a little cutesy joke moments in there, but it is more of just a straightforward song.
Yeah, cutesy is a good, apt way to describe it.
Yes.
It would work as a real song doing the same thing, I think.
100%. It just needs a little extra instrumentation to it. It wouldn't just be an acoustic guitar.
Yeah. Watching this scene, it's funny. It's funny hearing a clean version of it, because when you hear it in the movie, you definitely get a lot of sounds of Billy Idol and his like thug fans pushing Glenn into the bathroom and locking him in.
Get out of my way, Billy Idol.
You know, I know we hate Glenn. He's not a good guy or whatever, but they really manhandle him.
Oh yeah.
Julia does not seem to be paying attention at all to that.
Well, it's not every day you get serenaded on an airplane.
Yeah, fair. I love that the flight attendant's in on it. Like the whole buildup of everyone on the plane getting sucked into this story.
Yeah.
And then finding out that they're on the same plane.
Such a good build, and movie in general. Again, the whole movie just has a good build to it.
Can you believe even First Class used to look like that? So spacious. Or used to look kind of like that. It's a movie version. But
movie and TV planes in general are
huge.
They are way bigger than actual fucking aircraft.
It's true. Yeah. But there was some reality to that. Like at the OG 747, like there was room. Not anymore.
That's so funny.
Yeah, man. It's a sweet song.
Oh, it's super sweet. Very heartfelt song. And it got a little bit of an update in the Adam Sandler Netflix special, 100% Fresh.
I met you 20 years ago and we talked all night. You drank me under the table, yeah, it was love at first sight. I knew right then and there I'd grow old with you. I said I'd tell you jokes whenever you were sad, make you a mom if you made me a dad. Oh, it's been so much fun growing old with you.
Is he singing this to its actual wife?
Yeah.
That's great.
That whole special 100% Fresh was really, really fun. And of course, this song is featured in the stage musical of The Wedding Singer. Here is Stephen Lynch performing the song, and it sort of turns into a duet at the end of it with the Julia character, who is played by Laura Benetti.
I'll miss you, kiss you, take your shoes off and rub your feet. Need you, feed you, and when we play checkers I'll let you cheat. So let me do the dishes in our kitchen sink, put you to bed when you've had too much to drink. Oh, I could be the one who grows old with you.
And you can hear a little bit of lyric change in there as well.
Oh, I didn't catch it. What was it?
Oh, they had that thing in there about rubbing each other's feet and playing checkers and shit. That's not in the
That's not in
one.
the. Oh, okay. Okay. What I was paying attention to was just it sounds a lot more like a country song, the musical version.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it totally did.
You know? Yeah. Like it just fit that mold really well.
Huh.
Okay. I was wondering what changes they would end up making in the musical version to make it work for a full cast.
Right.
To not have the Robbie character be the only one singing in the show.
I'm sure that other characters do sing for a lot of the original songs for the stage musical. These are just the only 2 songs that are in the movie as well.
Right.
So if you want to listen to any of the other original songs for the Wedding Singer musical, it is on Spotify for you to enjoy.
Oh, nice.
Or YouTube, because I'm playing the clips off of YouTube right now. So it's on both.
It's available online. It's not hidden. So that brings us to the final performed song in the movie, which is the return of the now no longer drunken brother from the top of the film,
Dave,
Steve Buscemi's character in my mind, and his rendition of the song "True" by Spandau Ballet.
I know this much is true. I know this much is true. Oh, yes, I do. Robbie and you.
That's another one that I actually sing to the song, like a little wedding singer altar.
The Robbie and Julia.
Yep.
Now, this one, unlike the other songs in the movie, really sounds like he's just sort of karaokeing over it. Like it's the original instrumentation. I think even the voice is in there. They're just making him louder.
I think so too. Yeah, because like when it's doing the ah ha ha ha's, like at the beginning of the ceremony, it's very clearly just that song.
Yeah.
And then when it gets into the actual singing of the song, they just sort of pipe in the Buscemi vocals. I think you're totally right on that.
Yeah, that was the one thing I noticed, but it still works. It's still funny. I just love that like there's some amount of backstory that happened that we didn't see, where like they became buds and he got invited to sing at Robbie's wedding.
Honestly, he has probably the biggest character shift in the whole fucking movie. What is that arc?
Yeah, what was him getting his life together?
Oh, that's so funny. They should do like a graphic novel of what happened with Dave.
That would be good.
Oh man, I would love that. That would be so fun. Again, there's no way that you've never heard any of these fucking songs before.
And you mostly just heard this one, but
right, yeah.
We gotta play it.
I know this much is true. I know this much is true.
And this is another one of those Sandler verse interwebs, because Adam Sandler is fucking obsessed with this song, and it's in all kinds of other fucking movies.
Shows up a lot, yeah.
Yeah. And it's not always this song. Sometimes it's people that just sample this song. Like the PM Dawn sampled this song in the early 90s, and he used that song in Sandy Wexler. Or the Black Eyed Peas sampled this song in a credits song for 51st Dates, like that kind of shit.
I read that, yeah.
So Sandler's a big fan of True by the Spandau Ballet.
Yeah.
And just for fun facts, it was number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100, and it was released April of 1983.
Nice. Okay. It's number 4, so it did pretty good. This was another one of those like weird, like it was supposed to be like Spandau Ballet blew up off of this, and then it never quite happened for various reasons. They ended up in one-hit wonder territory.
Only in America.
Sorry, yes.
Because True was their first Billboard hit over here, and then, you know, it just is their only hit here, but other places they had more hits.
Yes. You're correct. You're totally correct. Common story, especially around that time. We kind of diverged musically from our European counterparts.
Now, I know that this is not a song that is sung by any of the fictional artists in this film, but it's my favorite B-52 song, so Private Idaho! And I love the usage in the movie, too, where he realizes Glenn's a piece of shit, and then the song just clicks on.
It works really well for that.
Yeah, it's like his brain shifting as this song just like bop, 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 like kicks in. It's so fucking good. Oh, I love it. Best B-52 song for my money. I love that song.
Okay, yeah. I won't argue with you on that one. For me, I didn't know we got to just play a random song from the soundtrack at the end.
Sorry, I just wanted to.
If I was going to do one that I'd forgotten about before I watched it again, it's...
Oh, yes!
It's Huey Lewis. Do You Believe in Love?
Got to get more Huey into this podcast, baby.
Did you know this song was written by Mutt Lange?
No.
The producer of note for sort of 2 periods in his career. He was the guy behind most of Def Leppard's hits. He's the now ex-husband of Shania Twain and co-wrote, produced a lot of her hits in the 90s.
All right.
Did this sometime in between with Huey.
Man, great song.
But like every Mutt Lange song has this sort of harmonized chorus. Like if you listen to it in that light, like thinking of Def Leppard, you can hear it. You can hear the connection.
Totally. So Dustin, we're closing out this podcast here, and Robbie wanted to be a songwriter. Not necessarily like a successful musician. He wanted to be a songwriter. And at the end of the film, Billy Idol says that he's going to tell those record company guys about Robbie Hart.
Yeah.
What level of success do you think Robbie would have had having listened to 2 of the songs that he wrote in universe?
Oh, I think he could have done all right. If I'm going to really get meta and break this down, I think he's too happy by the end of this movie to really be inspired to write the kind of hits that he would need.
You think so?
I've always thought there's an element of like being tortured that's required for like good art. Maybe not. Based on his chops alone, yeah, no, he totally would make it. I question how much pull Billy Idol really has with those record company guys. But at the time, I'm sure he had quite a bit in the 80s, yeah.
Julia's reading Rolling Stone magazine with him on the cover.
Oh, he's on it. That's right. Like,
yeah,
okay.
He was at the peak.
He's at the apex. Okay, fine. Then it might work out. It might work out for Robbie. I really want to hear something by Final Warning. That's what I would love to hear.
Oh, yeah. Well, because like they were probably like Van Halen-esque.
I bet they were, more hair metal.
Because like when he brought up the spandex, and I think Linda says something like licking the microphone like David Lee Roth or something like that too.
Yeah. And just based on her character alone, I'm like, oh yeah, he was a metal guy.
Yeah.
Just her look. You know?
Yeah. That's so true. Those short black dresses and that hair is total metalhead. Yeah. Oh, that's so good. So does that mean that you would listen to Robbie if he was writing songs and producing music in our reality?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, I listen to Adam Sandler. That's pretty close.
It's as close as we're going to get.
Given he co-wrote those songs and sang them.
Right.
I always like the few things that I've heard where Sandler shows up doing like real songs, in quotes. He's covered quite a few songs over the years for like random like Warner Brothers compilations and stuff. Like he's got a version of Werewolves of London. That's pretty good.
Yes, it's so good. It's so good.
And another, he's on a Tom Petty tribute album with a bunch of random acts.
Again, the guy can sing. He can play guitar and he can sing. I am in agreement. I would listen and support Robbie Hart in his music career. Also, I would just be so fucking thrilled if I showed up to a wedding and there was a band as killer as that.
Oh, hell yeah.
Him or Jimmy Moore. If I showed up to a wedding and somebody was A, that musically talented performing at the wedding, and B, put on that kind of a show and was that entertaining for both of them,
yeah,
it would be the greatest wedding I've ever attended.
Yeah. If it was my wedding or someone I knew, I would arguably be like, that was a bit much. They kind of stole the show.
Yeah, and they totally would.
Yeah.
They totally would.
But as like a last round of invites guest at a wedding, oh, I'd fucking love that.
Oh, yeah. Well, everyone, if you enjoyed us running through all of the sweet-ass 80s tunes from The Wedding Singer, go ahead and leave us a rating or review in whatever platform you're listening to this on. And if you happen to be watching on YouTube, go ahead and give us a like and subscribe there.
Yeah, keep them coming, please. And thanks for joining us, and Happy New Year.
Yeah, happy freaking New Year, 2025, not 1985, like I said before, but, you know, we can pretend. We can pretend like we're going back in time, right, Dustin?
Definitely. Yeah. I think Back in Time was we already did that episode, but sure. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. We did. Yeah. Good point.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Watching movies and jamming out. KFlix 198.4 Fiction Radio.